A couple things that we wanted to do was to make sure that we were going to be distinctive. There's a highly competitive environment among private higher education, particularly here in the state of Iowa, and given the fact we recruit a lot of students from Chicago, so we wanted to have a leg up. Secondly is we really think with a liberal arts education, the extent to which students have a technological sophistication is really critical. And we thought that there was no better way than to go to being a laptop campus and pursue the IBM ThinkPad.
One thing I looked at when I was choosing colleges was, where is this university going? And seeing IXL and V-Mobile type programs at the University of Idaho definitely was a key selling point.
I think the overriding issue of servant leadership is that of connection. You have to be connected to yourself, you have to be connected to your academic discipline, and you have to be connected to your world. And ubiquitous computing and our ThinkPad program allows students to accomplish all three goals: making connections and making those connections count.
I knew Seton Hall for its law school, I knew Seton Hall for its business program, but basically primary was Seton Hall computers.
I actually was walking across campus about 2 weeks ago, and there was a student sitting out in the middle of one of our fields with just his laptop poking away, and it was great. It was like, you know, it took 10 years, but I finally saw what we talked about 10 years ago, so it was great.
I think uniformly, if you go around campus, people will say that the mobile computing project was a really smart thing that the university did. And our students love it.
It really is. It's popular for people. It takes away the problems of what should they get. We couldn't take them away now if we wanted to. They'd come and skin us. No, really.
The ThinkPad is a great asset because I try to get the students to think and do calculus right in the studio setting. And the ThinkPad allows them, it sort of facilitates them to not worry about the nitty-gritty, but to think about the basic ideas.
We have one instructor, for example, in the English department who does a course on literature and art. Well, instead of having to bring in a slide projector and do all this other stuff, all these other permutations, you can have students bring their ThinkPads to class and have them access websites, have them access to works of art, and talk about them that way.
Based on a study of faculty use of the software tools, plus the students' attitudes towards that use, I primarily use PowerPoint as a reading guide. And then they use the note-taking option in the PowerPoint to take personal notes, and they can also bring it to class to complement what it is I'm doing inside of the lecture.
In classes that professors don't post their PowerPoint, we use OneNote. OneNote's awesome. Like I said, we use OneNote probably almost every day. It's awesome, just note-taking software. It's basically just like a spiral notebook with a lot of cool technological advances.
We have the Microsoft products and the Microsoft Office and Microsoft Windows suites. And several other packages. We put all that together and we went out of our way to make it a comprehensive program.
I think they're much better trained, much better prepared to go out in the work environment.
I have actually found in my own experience that using information technology serves as a draw. It actually creates a more intimate environment in the classroom. First of all, because not only you're applying concept to practice, but at the same time too, I can find ways of staying in touch. It becomes much more dynamic. In fact, the word I would use in this case is, through the use of ThinkPads and information technology, there is now a greater connectedness between the students and me than we've ever had before. And anything I can do to improve that connectedness, I'm going to do so.
I've been a professor long enough that I used to sit in my office during office hours with a book and read, because you couldn't get any productive work done in your office. We didn't have computers. But the reality is that I've seen how technology has transformed the workplace. It's ubiquitous. I mean, that's the word, right? It really is. People can track me down anywhere. So it's sort of upped the ante. There's more expected of us because we have access to the technology all the time.
I think they're more connected because they can always contact me any time. Even when I was in Asia, before the Thanksgiving break, I was getting emails from them. And so even I'm thousands of miles away,
I was communicating with them.
Every time I come to campus, I have to check my email, whether it be a professor or a friend, a joke, anything. But I really use it all the time. When I come to campus, it's basically my main source for information, schoolwork.
Typically what happens is someone just has their ThinkPad, they hook that up to a projector that broadcasts to a large screen on the wall there, and if I'm just broadcasting from my camera and my ThinkPad, then anyone else that has a ThinkPad in a classroom or at home, they're able to connect to my broadcast and to my clinic and access anything that I might be interested in lecturing on or performing.
I live in a fraternity, and so when I was a freshman, you know, there would be upperclassmen that would have troubles with this, that, or the other thing with their computer, and they're like, hey, you have experience with computers, you know, come help me. But now all the little freshmen that come in, they know more about it than I do, so I'm just kind of, I guess that's the natural course of things.
One of our classes here is portfolio, and I go on and make my own webpage. So it has my resume on it, it has 4 different articles about me on it. Anybody that attended Lawrence could look at it, or anybody across the United States, the world, could look at my webpage if they wanted to.
I use my ThinkPad every hour of the day. I use it from studying to downloading music to watching movies, playing music, basically everything.
We had students bringing computers to campus, and we were increasing staff to be able to handle all the problems, if you will, raised by those computers. We needed to do something that would allow us to ensure that all of our students had appropriate access and at an affordable cost for the university.
We were finding that we had a lot of students coming in to campus with all different types of technology. And we wanted to put the students on a level playing field. So we wanted all the students to have the same standardized technology, so that didn't have the students that had and those students that did not have.
Yeah, standardization is really important with the laptop program, due to the fact that if, you know, from a help standpoint, you're going to have some kind of help desk or support staff in place. But if everybody has the same model of computer and the same software load, I mean, they can help each other with problems more often than having to go to the help desk.
I actually know how to fix the laptop, so usually my friends come by when they have problems with their ThinkPad, and I try to fix it for them.
Since everybody has it, you know, once one of your friends works out a problem with it, you know, basically for everybody in your group of friends, that's solved.
I don't know how we'd maintain an environment that wasn't standardized. I go to different conferences and sit in on, you know, roundtables and things, and none of the problems pertain to me because we have the standardized environment.
Across the board, it cuts the cost of running a program. If we did not have standardizations, the amount of time it takes to support the program alone is more than what the team our size could do. Standardization is the first step to running a program like this.
We are completely wireless. In fact, we have solved, I believe, what is known as the load problem of what happens when you have a classroom of 75 students all hit the web at the same time. We've been able to solve that, so there's literally no problem with having 10,000 students suddenly turn their laptops on all at one time and demand services from the web.
Students are academic nomads, and it's important as they move from classroom to classroom, from faculty member to faculty member, that no hardware or no software issues get in their way. As that academic nomad moves from the psych class to the social class to the English class to the biology class. And suddenly then there's no impediment through the technology in the way of the learning experience.
This ThinkPad has a wireless antenna built into it that comes with the ThinkPad, along with built-in microphone, built-in speakers and all that, and video conferencing capabilities. So what we're doing is we're taking advantage of the built-in capabilities to communicate both video and audio to the outside world, to the internet, wirelessly. So that comes with the machine.
The faculty designed it with mobility in mind, because one of the laptops that I've had in the past, it was 9 pounds, and And then imagine lugging that around for 6 hours of class a day. It'd be awful.
It was great. I was so impressed at how small it was and how light it was. They went from this thick to like this little tiny machines, easy to carry around. It's an extension of myself, for sure.
We evaluated a number of different laptops when we started the program, and we continue to do that every few years. And every time we've seen that the IBM and now the Lenovo ThinkPads have a better quality. The reason that we've stayed with them for 5-6 years now is quality and then the partnership and the relationship that we've been able to build with IBM and now Lenovo.
The ThinkPad Microsoft combination has led us to such a sophisticated and distinctive environment that students in all the ways of being educated here find ways to partner with this great program. So there's no reason to believe that 10 years from now it's not going to continue to give us a leg up in the competition.
At Northern, we provide the laptop as well as the software. We provide all our students get Microsoft Office built in and all the latest Windows software with their unit. And we also provide insurance and support, and the unit is part of our annual tuition fees. So it's part of their whole package of coming to the university.
The watchword of our alliance with IBM is that we would prove the success of IBM's products with the successful use of IBM's products. So, to that end, both of us have been successful.
The typewriter replaced the pen and paper, and then the desktop computer replaced the typewriter, and now the laptop is replacing the desktop computer. So I think people have a pretty clear understanding of that idea. It's just a natural course of evolution of technology.
When I was an undergraduate student, there was a big debate among faculty of whether you should allow calculators, right? It was a stupid debate. Obviously, calculators are going to be allowed. There's a debate going on the last few years of how computers should be used in the classroom and maybe they shouldn't be. I think it's the same stupid debate. The computers are here, they're more and more mobile. We're going to use them, we just have to adjust to them. These are going to be here, they're going to get better, they're going to get smaller, and it's a tool every engineer is going to use. The students should be using it too.
We hope that it might help us with our international initiative. And that's where Lenovo, I think, is quite critical for us. You know, what happens when students are suddenly conversing with another student who's in their class, but that other student is sitting in Chengdu or in Beijing, and another 10 students are sitting in Mexico. And so we think that that tool will help us do some global work that's pretty critical for today's student.
Give us more technology, give us more ideas, let us run with the ideas. In fact, to put it in finance terms, in the end, I think by allowing us to use ThinkPads and various kinds of information technology and advancements in teaching technology, we can improve the return that students can earn off their education and reduce the risk all at the same time.